Following this story this afternoon, a Florida woman so mad about her mac and cheese that she filed a $5 million lawsuit against Kraft Heinz Foods. Amanda Ramirez accuses the Chicago-based company of making misleading claims, she says, about Velveeta's microwavable shells and cheese. Well, the microwavable kind is billed as being, quote, ready within 3.5 minutes. Well, Ramirez says Kraft is not taking into account the time it takes to remove the lid, add the water, and stir in the cheese sauce. This is according to the lawsuit. Attorneys for Kraft calling the lawsuit frivolous. We'll see what happens with this.
So what's on tap for today, folks? Well, there you see it. A Florida woman is suing Kraft for $5 million, saying Velveeta microwave mac and cheese takes longer to make than advertised. Folks, in this topsy-turvy world, where up means down, in means out, right means left, everything is the opposite. Only in America, folks, only in America are you able to bring these types of lawsuits against people, against companies, against corporations. Now, I love my mac and cheese, so let's get into this story. But before we do that, just want to say that you are watching the Dr. Nasser Sheikh Show here, and I'm your guest host for today. My name is Dr. Sheikh. And if you haven't already done so, folks, it's your first time here, we'd really appreciate you subscribing to the channel, sharing this video, hitting the notification bell, and just helping us with those algorithms. Well, folks, I mean, what more can I say? If you like your mac and cheese, guess what? Who knows what's going to happen with this lawsuit, whether they're going to think, the lawyers for Kraft, they're probably going to obviously say this is frivolous and just have it thrown out of court. But somebody, a lawyer out there, these attorneys, somebody took this. So let's get a little bit more into this story here and get an idea as to what's going on. Boy, does that look scrumptious. This is at the heart, the liquid gold. There it is, folks, liquid gold. Well, it could turn into liquid gold for this lady. Absolutely. It could turn into liquid schmuck, basically, okay, for Velveeta. But here's what's going on. A label on a cup of Velveeta's microwavable mac and cheese says the meal only takes 3.5 minutes to prepare. But a Florida woman says this is false. False advertising, folks. Amanda Ramirez, if I guess it's Hiley, she's proposed a $5 million class action lawsuit saying the food producer Velveeta shells and cheese takes longer than advertised. Attorneys, look at this, attorneys, not just one attorney, but attorneys for Ramirez filed a lawsuit in the U.S. District Court on November 18th, according to the complaint. And what's a complaint? As we said before, false and misleading. That's right, false and misleading, folks. It says it's going to be ready in 3.5 minutes, but it's taken maybe 5 or 6. So that extra 2.5 minutes or whatever, guess what? It's translating into a $5 million lawsuit. Now, they're saying the attorneys argue that the number doesn't account for the 4 other steps required to prepare the pasta. Look at this. Okay, it's not including that you got to remove the lid. What is that, like a second? And then the sauce pouch. Okay, you got to tear off the sauce pouch. It's another second. Adding the water, a few more seconds. Microwaving, and of course, you can't forget stirring. The additional steps means it's impossible for the mac and cheese to be ready in just 3.5 minutes. Of course, the Kraft Heinz Foods Company dismissed the lawsuit as frivolous, and their statement is, we are aware of this frivolous lawsuit and will strongly defend against the allegations in the complaint. Ramirez lawyers argued that the company sells a product at a substantial price premium while using its misleading markets of ready in 3.5 minutes, which instantly catches the eye of all the reasonable consumers. In other words, what they're basically saying is that consumers are trying to stretch their money as far as possible, and they're trying to get the best, bargain for their buck. So they're saying that consumers are looking and saying 3.5 minutes, oh wow, that's going to save me some time in prep. I'm going to buy your product. And what happens is that they're spending money, more money on a product which they think is going to deliver them not only taste, but the results are expecting in less preparation time, but that's not occurring. So, in other words, false advertising. Anyways, folks, we'll keep you up to date as what's going on with this lawsuit as the days march on. But like I said before, this is America. Hey, you know what? Go out there to the grocery stores, see what other foods you can take a look at that have a time limit on there, and maybe you too can get in on the gold. All right, folks, thanks for watching. You've been watching the Dr. Nasser Shake Show. If you haven't already done so, we'd certainly hope that you go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell. I'll leave you with my final thought. This is coming from the doctor, and it is, when you're right, you're right. And we don't know if this is going to be right or not, but we know one thing: when you're left, well, you're wrong. We'll see you again next time, folks. Take care and stay safe.